Hey everybody, it's me, Albatross. Wow, a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Unfortunately, I missed this when this happened. It looks like they reported it on a couple of like the local news and some of the internet news sites. But as far as like cable news and stuff, I could not find anything. Not to say that they didn't. I try to avoid it as much as possible. I usually watch like clips on YouTube. I mean, I don't like watching the news that much. I'm very sensitive. It tends to end up bothering me like my whole day. And so that's why I try to stick to reading the news as much as I possibly can. But unfortunately, I missed this when it happened. Um Maybe I'm not alone. Let me know if you guys caught this when this happened 2 months ago. The His name is Edgar Madison Welch, and I'm sure most of my viewers know what Pizzagate is. If not, we're going to go into a background in just a minute. But he was shot and killed January 4th. And, they didn't seem the need to report on it that much. And but I did get a police report on it though. That was interesting. There's a lot of weird things about this. Okay. Let me be clear. There's a lot of weird things about this. It could be just a bunch of weird coincidences or, things that could be easily explained, but all of it together, I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure. I have a bad feeling about it. But anyways, let's talk about it for a minute. Let's talk about it. What's Pizzagate? And just a little disclaimer here. When all of the Pizzagate stuff happened, I wasn't really aware of it because, like I said, I wasn't lying when I said I had been in a hole like the last decade. I really have. I didn't pay attention to the news or nothing. So I missed this when this happened. So everything I found out about Pizzagate, I found out like in the last 6 months or something, maybe a year. I don't know when I learned about Pizzagate, but basically from what I learned about it, in the 2016 election, when Trump and Hillary were running each other, a bunch of Hillary Clinton's emails got leaked. And but now they weren't all pertaining to like child trafficking, but there was suspicious code words in there. And pizza is known to be like a code word, we've come to find out recently, for child pornography. And it's also weird, P. Diddy said it, didn't he? Didn't P. Diddy say it on one of his prison films? Anyways, we're not talking about P. Diddy. But okay, back to what we're talking about, Hillary Clinton. When these emails, it was like they were talking about pizza and like pizza parties and like weird context. Like, for example, and a lot of these emails they're still on WikiLeaks. Now, I couldn't find all of them. Some of them, it looks like they were like John Podesta and hers looks like they were taken off. But there's still some weird mentions about pizza and things like that. Like, it looks like people were getting promised overseas, like people who were sending their kids here. They were told that their kids would learn English and that they would get, quote, pizza parties. It was very strange context. And then there was and I'll leave the link for the WikiLeaks in the description if you guys want to go read through them. There's like 30,000 though, so But there was one of the emails had said something like, I'm gonna go have pizza. No. Pizza in my office for 30 minutes or something like that. Like it was strange. Like, a lot of it was strange. There was a lot of weird emails and had to do with pizza. And it was obvious they were code words. Okay. So what happened after that? Word started spreading online about these emails and the weird coded messaging in it. A man by the name of Edgar Madison Welch from Kannapolis, North Carolina, took it upon himself to drive up. They kept mentioning this restaurant in reference to this pizza too. And this restaurant happened to be owned by a huge Democratic donor. Huge. And he decided to take it upon himself to go to this restaurant and bust this ring himself. Now, who knows? He was probably working for them, because it was weird the way it all played out. It was like he went there, swore there was children in a closet, started shooting at a closet, which was strange in and of itself. Like, why would he shoot at a closet if he thought there was children in it? I don't know. But that's what they said. That's what they said, and we just had to kind of like take their word at it. But come to find out, there was no kids there. And then, according to all them, he surrendered. Now, maybe they showed all this on video. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they showed any of this with photos or video at the time, because I was not paying attention to this stuff at the time. But if they did, I can't find them now. So, who knows? It's hard to take any of these people at their word, because this was a time where there was still this, like, trust in the mainstream media, that this, like, unbroken trust, where they could just, like, report on things without providing many pictures and things like that. You know what I mean? Very weird. Very weird. But, oh my gosh, there's just so many weird things about this case, guys. There's just so many weird things. Okay, but anyways, one of the weirdest things, like, Pizzagate, right? Like, as soon as he did that and busted into that restaurant, every single news media, including the conservative ones, including them, labeled it conspiracy theory. I guess they thought that if he had found kids there, that, that would have proven it. But since there weren't kids there, it was just the opposite that was proven, according to them. Now, realistically speaking, if any of us know anything about when people sell anything illegal, whether it be drugs or guns, and I'm assuming it goes doubly the same if you're smuggling and selling humans, that you're not going to use the same place all the time. And if you do, you're certainly not going to use that place anymore if it's circulating the internet. The reason this guy drove from North Carolina is because it was all over the internet. It was all over the internet. Do you really think, like, if politicians in this high level of government are involved in this, they're going to be that effing stupid to have anything there after this is circulating the internet? Well, that's how the news media treated it. That's how they treated it. And then ever since, because you can't even look up the word Pizzagate without it being conspiracy theory. It is wild. Like, they didn't even consider it a possibility. Didn't even investigate it, to my knowledge, beforehand. Like, why didn't you investigate it beforehand? That's what's really weird about all this. It's like, it almost seemed like and listen, I don't know, I wasn't there, but it just seems a little too convenient that he does this. You know what I mean? Maybe he actually thought that he was, like, doing a good thing. I don't know. It stinks. This whole thing stinks, guys. Just wait till we get to his death. Just wait till we get to that part. But yeah, and look, there's even a freaking Wikipedia page called Pizzagate Conspiracy Theory. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? A Wikipedia site. I don't know if WikiLeaks are associated with Wikipedia, but they're the ones who leaked it. But yeah, as you can see, fake story, conspiracy theory. But, like, as for the other emails that expose all this other stuff about foreign leaders and the countries and the crap that she was doing with Syria and Israel and, oh my gosh, so many places. Haiti. Oh my God, Haiti. Which we'll get into that in a little bit. But, like, so many places. And, like, these people have so much blood on their hands. Rwanda. These people have so much blood on their hands. Even if we just forget about the child trafficking for a minute. Even if let's pretend it is a conspiracy theory. Like, it really is a conspiracy theory. What about all this other stuff? What about all this other stuff? all this other stuff. So, but anyways, I'm going to read an article from during this time period after he gets caught and busted and arrested. Okay, so this is an article from NBC, and they are interviewing, supposedly they are interviewing Edgar's mom, Edgar's dad, and Edgar's aunt, maybe, or something like that. That's what we're supposed to believe, even though I didn't see a picture of them on here anywhere. But who knows? Who am I to say it wasn't them? Okay. So, as we can see, Edgar had expressed enthusiasm online for some websites that spread conspiracy theories, apocalyptic topics, and fake news on his Facebook page. He didn't talk about that with his parents, who live at the other end of the long driveway in rural Salisbury, North Carolina. Oh, he's from Salisbury. Okay. I thought he was from Kannapolis. Anyhow, all they knew was that he sometimes played video games and watched movies online. So they're saying that, to their knowledge, they had no idea he was even reading these conspiracy theories, according to the people who love him the most. I mean, which is possible. I'm not saying it's not. I mean, I'm not saying they would know, if he does. So it could be either one, I'm just saying. Interviews with friends and North Carolina court records suggest that Madison Welch has trouble with alcohol and drugs in the past. And I don't know about that. Unless they took it off the internet, I actually looked him up. There was nothing. Like, there wasn't even the Pizzagate thing. It was weird. Like, you couldn't even find that in his record. Like, let alone anything from before. So, I mean, I'm not saying that there was or wasn't a record on it, but I couldn't find one. Interviews. Okay, wait. His parents responded through an attorney with a statement. As far as we know, our son drinks alcohol socially. We are not aware of any problems with alcoholism or substance abuse presently or in the past. So, according to his parents, he doesn't have a drug or an alcohol problem. According to his parents. Now, if he did have, like, a drug or alcohol record prior to that, I mean, you would think they know, because things like that are usually, like, public knowledge anyway. If he's from a rural area, it's a small place. Like, everyone knows everybody in places like that. In case y'all didn't know. So, I would think they would know. But unless they're just saying that to protect him, which is also possible. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt as much as possible. Okay. His parents said they noticed a change in his personality after a car crash in October. Edgar Welch was driving to work at the Food Lion warehouse one evening when he had a 13-year-old boy who had to be airlifted to a hospital with broken bones and a head injury. I can't imagine what that must be like. Like, the guilt someone must feel about that. That's got to be horrible. No charges were filed in the crash. The Welches and, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, Tawana Tadlock, Terry Welch's sister. I'm assuming Terry Welch is his mom. I'm assuming. Said that Edgar, who hopes to become an emergency medical technician, stayed with the teen until help arrived. Which, it's sad, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a horrible thing to go through, but, like, the narrative they're trying to spin here is that, like, he lost it because of this. And the boy didn't die. I mean, he was okay. I mean, no, I'm not saying he was okay. I don't know about the long-term day. I don't know about anything about that, but I know he survived. And as hard as that is, that happens a lot, but people don't just go take an assault rifle and be a vigilante. You know what I mean? That doesn't really add up. Like, this thing that they're trying to spin here. How does one lead to, it's what is it called? The post hoc fallacy theory. Like, it just doesn't, you can't, anywho. It's like those people who try to say that the kids who shoot up the school all have mental health issues. It's like, stop. It's like, stop it. Millions of people have mental health issues. Like, so stop. Anyway, their son felt a lot of guilt about it and worried about the long-term effects for the child, they said. They say Edgar began having nightmares but declined to seek help. You see, and listen, this happened in October. This is during, not long after the election. So, not that much time had passed. So, I don't know. And if he doesn't want to seek help, that's his choice. Obviously, he probably should have, but, it's still everyone's choice to go seek help if they want to. And it doesn't mean that that's why sometimes people need time to, well, I don't know. I've never been in that situation before, okay? And I'm not a mental health expert, so I don't know. But I just think it's kind of, that's not good enough for me to understand why he would do this. Sorry, it's not. It's not good enough for me. Not since he hasn't had a history of it. He doesn't have a history of this, according to his parents. He doesn't have a history of mental health issues, according to his parents. So I don't understand how this automatically led to the other. Harry Welch said that after the incident, his son's outgoing and energetic personality shifted. Well, obviously, he became melancholy and quiet. Welch said his son began showing signs of what he believes is post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm sure he did. I don't know how any good, decent person could go through that without that. How does this, guys, tell me, how does this lead, to a guy bringing 2 guns with him into the restaurant, vigilante style? You would think he'd at least go first and look around or something. I don't know. I feel like this was just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. If it doesn't add up, it doesn't add up. And I'll link the video. There is the video that I did find was of him. He did a 30-second video saying goodbye to his 2 daughters. Or yeah, that's what I think. It was a 30-second video, and apparently it was before he went and shot up the restaurant and stuff. I don't know. It was strange. How do you put it? It was there was a lack of emotion in it, almost. I'm not saying he didn't care. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, I don't know. It's just something about it didn't feel right. I don't get it. I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. And I'll link it below. You go look and see how you feel with that. Okay. They had not seen signs, but see, that's what I mean. They had not seen signs before that would raise concerns. His nephews and nieces adored him because he was so much fun. Tadlock said building blanket forts, skateboarding, fishing, crabbing, surfing with them. His daughters loved to hike with him. One time he ended up carrying 1 tired daughter and 1 tired dog on his back. Edgar had always been adventurous, whether jumping off a barn roof as a kid or as an adult, surfing in deep water despite a shark warning, they said. Family hunts some, but he was more into target shooting and skeet shooting. And something else that bugs me about all this, about the picture they're trying to paint, is the area I grew up in my hometown. I grew up in a very rural place too, and I've known so many boys like this, have good hearts, big hearts. They work hard. They play hard sometimes, they drink and, they do things, but they're good people. Not all of them, but a lot of these country boys are good people. And so just something's not clicking in my head. Like, I'm not saying that they're not capable of doing this, because, like, listen, when a bunch of country boys get together and they start talking about all this stuff, they get themselves riled up, I wouldn't put it past them to go and try to take matters in their own hands or whatnot. But, like, listen, this is a guy acting solo who has 2 daughters he loves. I don't know. It just seems like it was very dramatic. Like, wouldn't he want to go scope it out solo? I don't get it. I just don't understand. It's just weird. Sorry, it's weird, and it was too convenient the way it all played out. Like, everyone got to label it as a conspiracy theory after this, so it's just weird. Terry Welch said that not talking to her son in the days since his arrest has been difficult. In Washington, Edgar's attorneys gave the Welches a letter from... Wait a minute. Hold up. Stop. Why wasn't she able to talk to him? That's weird. Aren't you supposed to be able to get a phone call? I mean, maybe it's different in DC. I don't know. But, like, I thought everyone got a phone call when they got arrested. I thought that was a thing. Is that not a thing? Asked what the couple would say to the people at Comet Ping Pong, Terry Welch's hazel green eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry," she said, "and I'm sure he is sorry for any heartaches he has caused." Yeah, I don't know, guys. It just doesn't add up. It really doesn't add up. And that restaurant owner, I found like one news clip of him before, and he was like, there was like a picture that had leaked of a little girl whose hands were taped on a pool table. I would have put it on here, but it was really not a picture I felt comfortable putting on here. It's not cute at all. It's very disturbing. And his excuse was, oh, that was her sister who did that because they were playing. Yeah, I get kids play like that, sure, but why? I don't know. You're going to take a picture of it. Right, but wouldn't that... I don't know. It didn't add up to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Sorry. Even if it was from play, I didn't like it. It was very disturbing. Very disturbing. But he ends up getting 4 years. He ends up getting 4 years. And he got out 2021, I believe. Or 2020 or 2021. Something like that. And let's get into his unfortunate death. Okay. The Pizzagate gunman who fired his rifle in a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant in 2016, acting on a debunked conspiracy... Stop. Stop acting like it was already debunked. Stop. Has died after police shot him in a traffic stop. Edgar Madison Welch was shot by police over the weekend and died from his injuries Monday, authorities in North Carolina said on Thursday. Almost 10 years ago, Welch made national headlines when he traveled to the nation's capital from North Carolina and fired shots in the Comet Ping Pong restaurant, spurred by a conspiracy theory that had spread online. Prosecutors said at the time that Welch was trying to investigate an internet conspiracy theory about a pizza restaurant being home to a child sex trafficking ring connected to prominent Democratic politicians. See, they always try to make it right and left. Always. A false claim that became known as Pizzagate. Well, we don't really know if it's false or not. They never investigated it. Welch, who was 28 when the incident occurred, ended up surrendering to police after he did not find evidence to support the conspiracy theory, according to court documents at the time. And I'll link those Pizzagate affidavits below too if you guys want to read them. Welch was sentenced in 2017 to 4 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to weapons charges. He had carried an assault rifle AR-15 rifle and a revolver into the restaurant, according to investigators. No one was injured by the gunfire. Like, this is another thing that just doesn't quite add up to me. So, like, he's going there to investigate. He thinks he's going to find something. If he thinks he's going to find children, he's going to shoot at a door. That doesn't make much sense to me. Like, and if he wasn't looking for children, like, what did he think he was going to find? I don't understand. It's not adding up. Oh, yeah. Here, look at who the judge was. Look at the judge. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Isn't that a big surprise? Isn't that a surprise? She's now on the Supreme Court, by the way. She's a Supreme Court justice, by the way. Yeah. Back then, she was just a federal judge. But now, she's at the Supreme Court. So, take with that as you will, but we all know that she defends child predators. So, I mean, well, I know, because I've done a video about her before. I don't like her, I don't trust her, and I think she's going to cause problems. I do. But that's a whole nother point besides this. I just think it's odd that she was the judge. It's just convenient. All these people are connected like that. The judge on the case is buddy-buddy with Obama, who's buddy-buddy with the Clintons. You know what I mean? They're all connected. A little bit. And the guy who owned the restaurant gives them all money for their campaign. So it's just odd how all these people are connected. They're the ones investigating it. They're the ones trying it. It's just weird. It is weird. And listen, it gets weirder, guys. It gets weirder. You would think that such a big giant arrest like that would have or even just this recent thing that happened. They have at least one picture, right? They don't have anything, guys. They don't have anything. Nothing. That all these news reports and stuff, that they're using the picture from 8 years ago. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. But first, I'm going out of order here. Let me talk about how the police have been inconsistent. Either the police have been inconsistent with their story, or the journalists are being inconsistent, or they're being inconsistent going from journalist to journalist. I don't know which is which, but these stories don't add up either. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, Police Chief Terry Spry of Kannapolis. That's where, he died. He's from Salisbury, North Carolina. He died in Kannapolis, North Carolina, near Charlotte, said in a news release Thursday that police shot Welch on Saturday morning during a traffic stop. Okay, listen to this. During a traffic stop. And that a police officer, quote, recognized the front seat passenger as the person with the outstanding warrant for arrest. So apparently, Edgar had a warrant out for his arrest, right? That's what the police is saying. But do you guys realize how many people on any given day could have a warrant? Like, unless he was the one you were specifically looking for. So then it wasn't a traffic stop. And listen, and keep in mind the story now. This was during a traffic stop, and that the police officer recognized the front, and he's in the passenger seat, the front seat passenger as the person. So he's not talking about the car. He's talking about he recognizes the person sitting in the passenger seat of the car. Okay? We're clear on that? Okay. All right. When an officer opened the passenger door to arrest Welch, you see, okay. So, he's just going to open the door to arrest him. Doesn't take a moment to make sure this is the right person. Doesn't make that clear. Nope, just opens the door to arrest him. And Spry said Welch pulled a handgun from his jacket and pointed it in the direction of the officer, and did not put it down when the officers ordered him to. After the passenger failed to comply with their repeated requests, both officers fired their duty weapon at the passenger, striking him. Now, why was Edgar so suspicious and scared that he felt like he had to pull a gun out? That's my question. Like, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's go to the other one. Edgar Madison Welch was a passenger in a vehicle stopped by officers in Kannapolis on Saturday night, according to a Kannapolis Police Department news release. One of the officers recognized the SUV as one he'd seen Welch drive before, but he wasn't driving. Yeah. See? Like, he's in the why would he be in the passenger seat of his own car? Is it someone else driving it? Does he not have a license? What's up with that? Could be, maybe. But before, they were saying they recognized him as a person for the warrant. Apparently, the one warrant they had, the only warrant they had that they memorized early that day, they memorized his face and everything. Okay, we're going to find this one dude, this one warrant, right? And they knew immediately who it was. They didn't need to, do the due process, look at his ID, nothing like that. They just opened the door to go arrest him, right? Because they knew that they had their guy. Whether it be the SUV or the person sitting. That's another thing. What if he was just the passenger of the dude you were looking for? What if it was that? You didn't even give him a chance. You're opening the door? Unless you're skipping out a whole part of the story. Unless you're skipping out the part where you talked to him, looked at his license, determined who he was, and then you left all that out. No. So, it's very confusing on how they recognized him. When the officers, here we go. Another one. So no, that couldn't have happened. When the officers approached the vehicle to arrest Welch. Not when they opened the door now. Now he pulls a gun out when he's approaching the vehicle to arrest him. Without even talking to him. Hasn't even talked to him, already decided he's going to arrest him. Whether it's the person with the warrant or not. I mean, it's a common mistake. I mean, he looks like any other guy, really. I mean, I'm just saying, after he was instructed to drop the weapon but didn't, 2 officers shot Welch, authorities said. Now, I'm very, very curious to know who was in the driver's seat. Was it parked? You said it was a traffic stop, but what about the driver? Or was he just in a parking lot? Or did you pull him over? What was the deal? It's very confusing. My opinion. Why was Edgar so scared where he felt you see what I mean? There's a lot they left out. There was a lot they left out. And now, here we get to the weird part. The news articles that did report on this, they all use the same picture. This one picture from 8 years ago. But I mean, just look. Look. No other picture of this guy they got, but this one. It's wild, right? They had no other picture. They had no other picture of this guy. I think I did find one other picture, the one where they were putting him in the police car. But that was it. But that wasn't pertaining to this, like, this current case. That was the picture they used. That's what I'm saying. Like, for this current case going on, right, like, where he just got killed, they're using that picture from 8 years ago. Why? I don't get that. But they had body cam footage. You couldn't have gotten a still from that. So, if they are investigating it, that's why I wasn't pressing them too hard on the body cam footage, because it has been 2 months. If they are investigating it, a little more time's got to go by, but I am curious to see that body cam. I'm going to get that body cam footage. If I don't know how, but I want to get it. Something is weird about this whole case here. Like, the lack of reporting on it, the lack of information on it. See, look, like, not one thing on this guy. Not one thing. He was supposed to be on probation in North Carolina. Well, why isn't there anything on him? There's nothing. If he had a warrant in North Carolina, there should be something here. But there is nothing. Nothing. Why? Why? Now, I'm going to try to do like an actual full background report on this guy. I'll let you guys know in a future video what the results are of that. What comes back. But I'm not letting this go. For now, like, you know what I mean? This is weird. Okay, and let's look at the police report. They didn't even put his name. Oh my God. I just noticed this part. Look, right here where it says, look. 2 victims. Oh, they're talking about the police. Okay, law enforcement. Gotcha. So yeah, they leave the name out. Edgar's name isn't on the police report at all. At all. His name isn't there. It's interesting. They don't have any information on here, which, I mean, not the car number, not nothing. And then here we go. Now, according to this, it would appear as if there was someone else there. Who was involved somehow or the other. Because according to these codes, V2, V is a victim. Victim 2. So, like, someone who was there with him. And it says the relationship to offender, IRU, I'm pretty sure means that it's in review or under investigation or something like that. And then, the next, so that person's name is Caleb Isaac Tate. And I'll be looking into him too, whoever he is. The officer involved, Stephanie Michelle Stamper. Now, it's curious about this. She's the officer, right? Well, what I'd like to know is what kind of police is not a resident to the area they're serving. Am I right? Am I wrong about that? That doesn't seem right. Unless she's like, what, a state trooper maybe? I don't know. But I'm going to be looking into her too. Because that's odd. You would think a cop would be a resident in their jurisdiction, right? Maybe not. Maybe she drove across state lines to get to work. Who knows? I don't know. Or maybe when they say resident, they mean of that specific town. I don't know. I don't know much about these police reports. So it was weird, though. Depends on what the meaning behind that. But either way, most curious of all, the only name of this whole incident that is not on this police report is Edgar Madison Welch. It's restricted. For some reason, his name's not on there. His name's not on there. So I'll be looking forward to that body camera footage. Anywho, I'm going to be coming back later to talk about the Clintons a little bit more because, oh my God, we all know they're guilty. They got so much blood on their hands, even if we just exclude the child trafficking part. But that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in getting to the bottom of where these kids are. Because something just doesn't add up there about any of this. Just the fact when he died, it didn't escape my notice that, like, oh yeah, by the way, before I go, I wanted to show you guys this. Okay. These are all the senators, not all of the senators invested in BlackRock. Okay, let me be clear. There's way more than this, and representatives. These specifically are the Republican senators who did not want to cut foreign aid, which tells you a lot. It tells you a lot. Who are, and the ones that are highlighted have a lot of stock and trade in BlackRock. Odd, right? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of all of them. 5 out of all of them. 5 out of 26. Only 5 out of 26 who aren't invested in BlackRock. Odd, isn't it? Odd. But anywho, here's the code for the petition, defund and dismantle the CIA. I'm trying to push it really hard right now. Now that we've got actual evidence of what the CIA has done and what we know they've been doing, they need to be stopped. And since they're fighting Trump on every single little thing he does, imagine if he tried to do that for the CIA. So it's up to us. We need to start taking back our country, because they're going to fight him every step of the way. We need to start taking steps to take our country back, to save these kids. So please, I'm begging you, sign and share. Thank you.
The identities of the victims should be sealed, but as far as the predators, those should not be sealed, and they should be bringing charges against those people. And I think, frankly, now that it's public, there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure to see them do the right thing and go after people that are now, we have the facts. I'm a little disappointed that it takes media to get us there. Can I be honest with you? Like, why did we need to see it for you to have to bring charges? Because as of today, there are no charges brought, right, against Bill Clinton for sleeping with underage individuals. Those victims are alive. What's happening?